Yo, what is good? So, welcome to my settings. Oh, there is a... Okay, there we go. So, welcome to my settings video stream, whatever, for Chapter 3, Season 2, and... What? Oh, there you go. So yeah, I was making sure everything is working because my shit was absolutely frozen for some reason. Alright, we're good now. So, let's get into the settings. So, I'm going to be going through everything, just talking about why I use what I use. If you guys have been with the channel for a while, you probably know how this goes. So, starting off here, window mode full screen. You should be using full screen. It says here the game will run slightly faster, and you want every bit of performance advantage you can get. Resolution, I'd recommend using, it's probably 1600 by 900, but because my PC is not the greatest and I don't get that consistent frames, I'm using 1280 by 720. Honestly, like, unless you're using 1920 by 1080 like these two, there's really no difference. I don't really see a difference. It's just this gives me better frames, so that's what I use. Frame rate limit 200. So I have a 240 hertz monitor, but 200 is just more consistent for me, so that's why I'm using 200. But you use whatever gives you the best frame. So if you're on 144 hertz, probably just use 144 FPS. If you're on 240, then use 240. But I'm not getting consistent frames when I use 240, so just dialing it back to 200 makes it a little more consistent, and there's really not that big a difference. So user interface contrast, I have a 1.25x. I changed this, it just makes the game look a little better to me. I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, it makes the contrast of colors like greater, but I don't know. It's just personal preference. Brightness, you should be using 50%, and if you really hate your eyes, then feel free to use more, but I like my eyes, so I don't want to burn them out. Colorblind mode, I don't use colorblind mode. I don't even know why the strength is on 10, but, doesn't really matter. 3D resolution, again, you should be using between, 80 and 100, but, again, my PC is not the best, doesn't get the best frames, so I'm using 65. And honestly, I really don't, it's not that bad. Unless you're on fucking 40 to, 50, like I was when I played on a laptop, that was pretty unplayable, but I mean 65 is not bad. Yeah, it might not be the prettiest, but it's usable. So views distance on near, so there's been a bug with performance mode where if you're on high meshes and you're on near view distance, you'll get low meshes like graphics. So that's just what I'm on. I really play on mobile builds, low meshes. It's just at the end of last season. So after I made my settings video last season, I actually switched to high meshes just because it does give you increased awareness. It makes your visibility better. But then, and obviously there was the bug last season or at the beginning of the season where low meshes just didn't work. And then when low meshes came back, I switched back to low meshes just because I was struggling with my mechanics and I just like the lower input delay. But then I forget why I actually switched. I think I switched back to high meshes for like a day, but then I got sick of it, so I just put my view distance on near. But yeah. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, long story short, I'm using mobile builds. That's all you need to know, really. VSync off, show FPS on. I'm on performance mode, obviously. I think 99% of players are on performance mode. All right, let's keep going. This stuff. So the only thing that's important here is toggle sprint on, which when I show you my binds later, that's going to be important. Auto open doors, I like having it on just because, when I play duos, I'm the tarper. If you don't know what that means, it means in endgame, I'm the one who's tunneling, building us through the zones. And as someone who is not the best at editing, I do edit doors sometimes on accident, and so it's nice when I'm tarping to just be able to run through the doors without pressing anything. Mantle activation, I have hold to jump. I think hold forward is just really, really weird. I don't like it at all. So yeah, hold to jump. Hold to swap pickup. I like having hold to swap pickup on. It just means I have to go into my inventory less because I can just swap out things on the ground. Toggle targeting, I don't even know what this does, but I've had this thing off basically since I started playing. It's like 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Mark danger when targeting, again, I've had it on since the beginning, like when the setting came out. Auto pickup weapons, you're a bot if you use this. I mean, it's literally like mobile shit. Preferred item slots, I'll show you. So, the only ones I have assigned are shotgun and AR. I should probably make this unassigned, just because I like to put my SMG in here, and it's really, really annoying when I get a consumable. It like switches my fucking SMG. So yeah, shotgun AR. That's like the only thing that really matters. Whoops. Auto sort consumables to the right. I have it on. I've always had it on. I don't really see a need to change it. Alright, building. This is the important stuff. So reset building choice. I have it on. I think I've had it on since like the days I was on fucking Combat Pro, which was like, Jesus, like chapter 1, season 6. Yeah, I was on Combat Pro in chapter 1, season 6. It's crazy. But yeah, I've just never turned it off. Disable pre-edit is absolutely something you should have on. There's nothing more infuriating than accidentally pre-editing and dying because of it. Turbo building, obviously you want to have on. And again, confirm edit on release, I am on. I like confirm edit on release because it just simplifies editing. It makes it one less button press. So double edit binds are faster than confirm edit on release. But like, I don't know, if you're not a fast editor, like, unless you're absolutely insane at editing, you should use confirm edit on release because it'll always be more simple and consistent. But if you're a god tier editor and you want like just every little bit of speed you can get, then you can use double edit binds. But I like confirm edit on release because, as I've said like a million times in these videos, I am not good at editing. So yeah, this stuff, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck this is. NVIDIA highlights, hold up. Okay, well, I don't even know what this stuff is. Oh, replays are off just because they fuck up your FPS. So yeah, this stuff, HUD scale 85%. Nothing else important here except anything else? No, I think the only thing here is reticle. Oh, right, reticle ammo indicator off. This thing is so annoying. Anything that clutters up the space around your crosshair, turn it off. So it just distracts. Like for me, it's just a distraction. And it's like I can just look near my inventory and see how much ammo I have. I don't need this thing distracting like the area around my crosshair. But that, again, that's personal preference. Gyro controls, I've tried gyro once and I hated it. I mean, it's just, ugh, gross. Keyboard and mouse, I mean, if you guys want my keyboard and mouse sense, I've played keyboard and mouse maybe 3 times in my life. And I just hate it. So, yeah, I don't even know how I got these settings, but, yeah. Alright, controller settings, alright. This is what you guys watch for. So controller auto run, I don't even know why I have this on. I usually have it off. Build immediately, obviously on. Edit hold time doesn't matter, but yeah, it can be on anything really. Slide hold time, I'm on 0.14, which I think that might be a little bit slower than I had it last time. I think I might have had it last time on like 0.12 or something. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, this is just the perfect balance of being able to crouch and not like slide all the time, but also, you know, I see some people having it like up here, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you won't be able to slide if you do this because it'll be so delayed and annoying. But yeah, 0.14 is perfect. Camera axes, I don't even know what this stuff does, but I just kept it default. The fuck is yaw? Okay, I'm not even gonna pay attention to that. Vibration off, obviously. Alright, build and edit sense 2.0, 2.0. I think I moved this up a little bit. I think last season I was on like 1.9, 1.8 or something like that. I think it was on 1.9, 1.9, yeah. So I just moved this up one just because I think I needed a little bit of a boost in my building speed. I just felt I wasn't able to, do certain moves, certain retakes. I couldn't make certain edits at like weird angles because my sense was just a little too slow. So yeah, we just had to turn that up a little bit. I'm still on 41, 41. I've changed this around a few times. I think I was on like 43, 43 earlier. But yeah, I've gone back to 41 in the last few weeks just because I think it's a sweet spot for sensitivity, especially so. Last chapter when aim assist was like actually working, I'd say 43 to 45 was the best sense, but now I'd say it's like 40 to 42 because aim assist is a lot weaker. So you need, because basically what aim assist does, what aim assist used to do that it doesn't really do now is it would slow your sensitivity when you got over a target, so they would be easier to track. But now aim assist doesn't slow down as much, so you got to create that slowdown for yourself by lowering your sensitivity. No boosts. We're still on the same ADS that I was on last season. This settings I got from Roadie Bros. I mean, they're insane. I mean, I've never been someone, since my Xbox Elite controller broke, I've just not had the best AR aim, but I've just not had the best aim in general because I don't know, just for some reason the thumbsticks on the Xbox Elite were just so good for aiming. But yeah, I've been on the PowerA Fusion Pro, and now I'm on the Scuf Impact. My aim just hasn't been the same, but I mean, these settings are nice. Like, I can hit like a lot of shots with these, so that's how you know they're really good. All right, look dampening time, nothing. Linear. I don't know why I was on 99% aim assist, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm on linear. I have considered switching back to exponential multiple times just because exponential is a lot less flicky and like kind of all over the place. Like linear is really smooth when you get it down, but until you get it down, it's like really flicky. And one of the reasons linear was so smooth was because when you practice with it is because when you mastered your crosshair control and your trigger discipline, aim assist would do the rest pretty much. That once you were able to line up your shots and once you were able to control your sensitivity, aim assist would handle the slowdown on your shots, and it would just make linear really smooth. But now, because aim assist is a lot weaker, my aim feels more flicky and like random a little bit. So I have considered switching back to exponential, but I still think linear is the alpha sense if you train your aim a lot, which I'd say I train my aim quite a bit, mainly in like aim duels and stuff. I still think linear is a better option because it will still be more smooth. It's just not as good as it used to be, and I just find exponential really clunky and annoying for mechanics. I mean, obviously, like Reet was really was an insane mechanical player with on exponential. Collazo was on Expo for a while. He was pretty good with it. But yeah, dead zones 10-10. I mean, nothing really important here. Just your dead zone. So you should have your dead zone in between. So regardless of how new your controller is, people say, oh, you need to have the lowest dead zone possible, and then move it up as your controller gets stick drift. I actually think you should always keep your dead zones in between like 8% and 12%. So like 8% is the lowest you should be going, and then if your controller still has stick drift at 12%, then it's just time to get a new controller. But that's mainly because having a higher dead zone or not a higher dead zone, I should say, it's like a medium dead zone. You have a lot better control over your crosshair. You have less micro movements, and just generally, like, your game will be a lot smoother, your crosshair placement will be better if you play on between 8% and 12%. So I'm right in the middle, 10-10. Foot controller off, steer tank with camera. I don't play with tanks anymore because they're not in competitive, so yeah. Sound settings, so I've changed these quite a bit. So these, voice chat, 40%. I don't like having voice chat at 40%, but there are just too many squeakers in this game nowadays that want to just scream their fucking lungs out. And it's just so annoying. So, yeah. That's, I keep my voice chat at 50%. Sound effects 30. I could probably move this up a little bit. Actually, you probably should, because the game does feel a little quiet. Plus, I have a sound control on my headset, so yeah. This stuff, no one really cares. All right, keyboard binds. I mean, like, if you guys want my keyboard and mouse binds, they are absolutely terrible. So basically, while I was waiting for my Scuf Impact to arrive at like November, like the end of November, I played keyboard and mouse for 1 week, and these are the binds I used. I mean, no one really wants these because they're terrible. But controller binds, all right. So we'll go on PlayStation 4 just because I use a Scuf Impact. I've been using the Scuf Impact since before Christmas. I want to say end of November, like beginning of December. I think beginning of December, yeah. So, and I've only had to use one. So, in about the same time span, over the summer, I had about three. Yeah, I think I had 3 Xbox Elite controllers. So this thing's held together well. So, yeah. So, yeah. Let's go into my binds. Normal stuff here. So, I'm going to explain my paddles. So my outer left paddle is bound to X. My inner left paddle is bound to square. My outer right paddle is bound to circle. And then my inner right paddle is bound to fucking triangle. So, see, I edit with my outer, so from left to right. So outer left paddle is edit, inner left paddle is jump, inner right paddle is tactical sprint, and then outer right paddle is switch mode. So this is completely down to just how I hold the controller. So on my when I was on an Xbox controller, because obviously the Xbox had the horizontal paddles where you have where the paddles went up and down. So you'd have like upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right, and so on, which was the Xbox Elite, and then the Power A. So on the Xbox Elite, my upper left paddle was jump, my lower left paddle was edit, my upper right paddle was reload, and then my lower right paddle was switch mode. So obviously when I switched to, so I would hit the upper left paddle with my middle finger, the lower left with my ring finger, and then the lower right with my ring finger, and then the upper right with my middle finger. So when I switched over to the controller, I basically kept each action on the same finger. So the way I hold the controller, I wish my face cam was working, but it broke like a few months ago. But the way I hold the controller, my ring fingers sit on the outer paddles, and then my middle fingers sit on the inner paddles. So it's just about keeping the actions on the same finger. So my left middle finger is still jump, my left ring finger is still edit, and then same thing on my right hand. I did change it up a little bit, so because obviously I have a touchpad now on this controller, I made touchpad toggle pickaxe, which, I mean, I think it's good. It's worked well for me. And I made my left thumbstick reload and interact, and then I made my inner right paddle tactical sprint. Just because tactical sprinting is something that, you do in combat or when you're rotating, and you have to be able to reach it quickly. So yeah, those are my binds. Oh well. We'll go to build controls. Same thing as last time. Yeah. So yeah, same, just normal Builder Pro. Trap picker placing. So edit controls, same as last time, I think. Yeah, I haven't changed my edit binds in like 2 years. So same thing, R1 reset, L2 confirm, R2 select the squares. These binds have been made easier because obviously on the SCUF controller I have digital tap bumpers and triggers, so they just activate a lot more quickly, so it just makes everything more reactive. Ability controls, I don't even know what these do. And then dead zones, we already said. This stuff, yeah, nothing important there. So, yeah, those are my complete settings. I'll just go through them one more time.